Welcome again to Cottage Talk. This is a first. This is Cottage Talk Match Day Live. Fulham versus Arsenal. The match is going to begin in a little less than an hour, and I thought I would go live with my thoughts on Fulham's starting 11 and on Arsenal's starting 11. Very interesting situations for both clubs heading into this match. It's a wonderful opportunity for Fulham at home against Craven Cottage. Obviously, you're facing a team that is incredible. I'll say it. I predicted Arsenal would win the league. I still think that they have a chance to win the league. So I know that this is a tough challenge for Fulham, but I'm actually feeling pretty good going into the match. And part of it has to do with the starting 11. So I want to go through both clubs and give you their starting 11 because it's some very interesting situations for both. So let's get going and I'm going to give you my thoughts on Fulham, obviously, to begin. And what I will say is that the big talking point for me was, would Pereira start instead of Smith Rowe? I thought that might happen. But what you're seeing now, I'm actually sharing this on my screen from FOTMob. Smith Rowe as your number 10, and you have Berga and Lukic together. So Lukic comes back in, and I think this is Fulham's ideal central midfield. So for me, I'm very happy with this. Pereira is on the bench. I thought he might start because of his pressing ability, but Marco decides to go with Smith Rowe, thankfully, and the other two behind him. Another decision was, would he play Muniz? He decides to go with Jimenez. I was for this. I actually got the starting 11 completely correct. You got a Iwobi on the left, and you got a Adama Traore on the right. So for me, this is Fulham's ideal lineup. This is what I would have gone with. Now, Anderson wasn't available, so you got Diop and Bassi, and you got Kenny Tete back and Anthony Robinson Leno as your goalkeeper. So for me, this is a formidable team that Fulham are putting out against Arsenal. This is a team I wanted to see. So I'm actually very happy with the starting 11. I think this gives Fulham a chance to get something from the match. Dare I say, win it. But as you know, we're playing against a team that I think is going to win the league. I know where they are right now, but they are that good. However, when you look at their starting 11, a little bit different situation for them. So when I look back at the starting 11 for Arsenal, they are actually missing two key players. Now, I was listening to a very good podcast the other day, which I would highly recommend on Arsenal. And the conversation really dealt with what would happen if Gabriel and Calafiore couldn't play. And they are now out for this match. So this is advantage to Fulham, because when you look at the starting 11 for Arsenal, you have Saliba and Keyword goes into that role where you would have had Gabriel. That to me is a loss for Arsenal. Partey, again, listening to this podcast, is coming back from an injury. He played in the last match, but not really fully fit. They have him at right back. And of course, you have Timber as your left back. So I think an interesting part of this match is going to be Fulham's left-hand side against Arsenal's right-hand side. Now you've got Odegaard and Saka on one side, very dangerous, but countering that on Fulham's left-hand side, you got Robinson and Iwobi, and you'll have Smith Rowe playing those triangles. This is going to be very interesting. So we'll see how this all plays out, but the fact that those two players are out for Arsenal, I think, is totally massive. Getting back to Fulham, definitely want to mention that Lukic is back, and I think this is major for Fulham Football Club. Partnering him again with Berga, where they can mix and match, and you have Smith Rowe up front. I think this is where the match is going to be one loss or potentially have a draw, because against it, you're looking at Jorginho, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, and I rate all three players, so it's going to be difficult. But if Fulham want to get something from the match or win the match, Lukic is going to have to play a key role along with Sander Berger and Smith Rowe. This is where I think the match will be won or lost. But I am encouraged by what I've seen from the starting 11, by what Marco did, and also what the situation is with Arsenal not having to keep defenders being back. I think that hurts them. So I think Fulham have a legitimate chance to get something from this match. Do want to mention that Chris Kavanagh is the referee for the match, and there have been issues with Kavanagh with both clubs. So I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be, but the Arsenal supporters are complaining about him. Us Fulham supporters definitely are going to be complaining about him because of what happened at Manchester United in the FA Cup match, and of course against West Ham before that. So he's got a history of both clubs. Let's see if there is any issue with Chris Kavanagh in the match. It's just something to watch as you watch the match. Okay. So to end this quick, very quick episode, like I said, I just wanted to do quick thoughts on both clubs starting 11, which I did, and I will end with my prediction for the match, which I've already done on the Cottage Talk Patreon page. So I'm not changing my prediction. I'm actually going with a Fulham victory. Yes, I'm going with a Fulham victory, 2-1 at Craven Cottage. The conditions aren't going to be the greatest, and I think that benefits Fulham. If it's a little bit windy, again, advantage to Fulham. But the big reason why I'm feeling a little bit more confident has to be the starting 11 for both sides. I think that Marco will have Fulham set up to stop Arsenal from playing and then beat them on the counter. That's what I think is going to happen. Will that be the result? We shall see. But again, this is the first time that I've ever done a match day live. I won't be able to do it each and every week, but I wanted to try it out. I hope you enjoy it. And come on, you whites.